clobbering a home run in the first inning off Mitch Keller. Nationals lead 1-0 over the Pirates in the second inning with Foster Griffin on the mound. Early check of the out-of-town score brought to you by Toyota. Wings in their home white uniforms tonight. Red Wings in red script trimmed in black across the front. Numbers on the back with the names on the back of the jerseys in red trimmed in black as well. And on the 3rd of July, the Wings are wearing white caps with an R on them in red, white, and blue, and a dark blue bill on that cap. Lehigh Valley's in their dark blue uniforms. Pigs in front across the jerseys. Road gray pants with the dark blue caps. Now Jackson Kent getting set to go for the Wings. Kent has been excellent since joining the Red Wings from AA Harrisburg. He has been getting more and more attention as well as he has pitched. Baseball America magazine in their recently released updated top 30 rankings of the Nationals prospects now rank Kent as the number 11 prospect in the Nationals organization. His second AAA win came in Allentown against Lehigh Valley June the 4th when he pitched 5 sharp innings, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits while striking out 6 men in that game. Kent ready to go. He throws a fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. All of his pitches can be effective. And he'll be trying to keep the ball in the ballpark tonight. That's one of the keys of the game tonight. Brought to you by New York Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. Don't let speeding strike you out. Dylan Moore to lead it off. And here we go on the 3rd of July. The first pitch of the game is swung on and sliced down the right field line. Driven well toward the wall, and that is off the base of the fence, right in the corner. Moore digging hard for second, slides in well ahead of the throw. It's a double from Dylan Moore into the right field corner on the first pitch of the night from Jackson Kent. So quite a start for Lehigh Valley tonight. Dylan Moore has been swinging a very good bat, and he instantly puts a man into scoring position with that drive deep into the right field corner. And we've got warm and muggy conditions again tonight, very much so. The wind, though, at least at the moment, does not appear to be as much of a factor tonight. And now Felix Reyes, the hitter. Kent sets shoulder high, throws the pitch, and Reyes looks at a fastball for a called strike one. Reyes has been overall the best hitter for Lehigh Valley this year. He's in the top 10 in the league in batting at .309. 19 homers now after that mammoth home run last night. The 0-1. Swing and a miss at a dandy changeup, 0-2. First pitch time and temp brought to you by Niagara Falls State Park. 80 muggy degrees at 7:11 tonight. So officially a 1 hour, 6-minute weather delay before the first pitch. Moore at second, nobody out. Kent fires, and Reyes takes the changeup low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So it's not as warm tonight as it has been the last couple of nights, but still very humid, and there is a breeze blowing out to left, but not at as much of a clip as the last couple of games. Kent ready on the hill, and the 1-2 to Felix Reyes, up and in for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shadows covering up the third base side and the left field line. It is just touching the front of the pitcher's mound. Jackson Kent on the top of the hill is in the sunlight, but his pitches are immediately going into the shadows. 2-2. Reyes takes low. It's gone from 0-2 to 3-2 on Felix Reyes with the veteran longtime big leaguer Tommy Pham on deck. Lights are on at ESL Ballpark, though it's pretty much sunny overhead, a hazy sunshine after the threatening weather earlier that forced the hour-plus long delay before the first pitch. 3-2. Change-up, pulled in the ground right to third. House freezes the runner at second and throws out Reyes at first. There's the first out of the night. Again, our first pitch time and temp was brought to you by Niagara Falls State Park. Hit your next staycation out of the park. Visit Niagara Falls State Park. They're home to the Maid of the Mist and the Cave of the Winds. Take the short ride down the thruway to experience the nation's oldest state park. It's sure to be a home run. Now 38-year-old Tommy Pham. He went 1 for 4 last night in his debut for the IronPigs. Right-handed batter hitting from a crouch. The pitch is under the hands and called a strike in the inside corner. Fastball at just under 94 miles an hour from Kent. Pham has played 1,250 Major League games. Fewer than 5% of all big leaguers have played that many games in the major leagues. The 0-1, swing and a miss at a good down-breaking slider, 0-2. 13 years in the major leagues for Pham, 10 different teams he's played for. The Phillies would be number 11 if Pham makes it back to the big leagues with Philadelphia. Kent trying to put him away, delivers. Pham takes off speed and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just getting started tonight. Dylan Moore began the game with a double deep into the right field corner. He is at second base with 1 out. Jackson Kent pauses. A look to second. Another 1-2. Pham takes a curve that bounces in front of home plate. A good block by Harry Ford, preventing a wild pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Christian Franklin in left field. Andrew Pinckney will patrol center with Joey Weimer in right. Brady House at third. Trey Lipscomb at shortstop. Philip Glasser at second. Yo-Yo Morales plays first base. He's wide off the bag with Pham batting. And Harry Ford back behind the plate doing the catching. 2-2 the count and the pitch. Pham fouls a changeup back into the right. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. That Wings defensive alignment brought to you by Niagara Scenic Tours. Travel the scenic route with Western New York's leader in transportation services. You can find them at niagarascenictours.net. Still 2-2 on Tommy Pham. Kent kicks high, throws the pitch home, and he drills the outside corner. Got him looking with a fastball. Perfectly placed by Jackson Kent. Every strikeout by a Wings pitcher this season, Citizens Bank makes a donation to the Volunteers of America to help them strike out poverty. Text the word strike to 366-283 to donate, or log on to voaupny.org. Brian De La Cruz, a good run producer, is now batting with Moore still at second and 2 outs. The pitch to the righty hitter is a breaking ball called a strike. 0-1, nothing but first pitch strikes so far for Kent, who has excelled in that department. He has started off so many batters 0-1 during his time with the Red Wings. He's ready on the mound. 1 strike pitch. Breaking ball darts down and in. De La Cruz is hitting .254 with a dozen homers. 51 driven in for De La Cruz, good for 7th in the league. He has had a good hot stretch going here of late for Tank Adamson's bunch. The 1-1, changeup, fades low. 2 balls, 1 strike. No score, top of the first inning. Red Wings and Lehigh Valley going head-to-head as Jackson Kent tries to cool off what all of a sudden has been a hot-hitting Lehigh Valley lineup, though the ball has really been traveling so far this week here at ESL Ballpark. Kent's 2-1. Cuts inside, 3 balls and a strike. That fastball really took off on Kent. Almost looked like a cut fastball. He's behind he's behind De La Cruz now, 3-1, with Otto Kemp on deck. Kent looks to second and throws the pitch. Throws a changeup and it's tapped on the ground to second. Glasser waits on it, throws to first. De La Cruz is out, and that ends the inning. Jackson Kent works around the leadoff double, stranding Dylan Moore right there at second base. After half an inning, Lehigh Valley nothing. Here come the Red Wings to the plate on Fox Sports 1280. Stranding a runner at second base, and the Wings now come up to face 28-year-old lefty Colby Allard. Christian Franklin, the Wings leadoff man, the leadoff hitter for the Wings, brought to you by the Tappet Bar and Grill. Find them at 1761 Scottsville Road across the river from RIT for award-winning menu items and daily drink specials. First pitch from Allard, a fastball that tails outside, 1-0. Allard listed at 6'1", 195 pounds, though he does not look that big. And from the semi-windup, he throws the 1-0. It's a cutter on the inside corner for a strike. Allard would throw a lot of cutters in on righties, and then his best pitch probably a changeup. He's a very good athlete, fields his position extremely well, and he's very tough to run on. And the 1-1 to Franklin, swing and a miss with that very good changeup, 1-2. Lehigh Valley is a team that is easy to run on overall. They've allowed the most stolen bases in the league, but Allard is very difficult to run on, has a great pickoff move should Wings runners get on base and have a mind of trying to steal. Franklin, Morales, and House in the first against Allard. Takes the hands over the head to start the windup. The delivery lifted foul and out of play to the right. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Franklin 1 for 10 in the series. Christian hitting .246 with half a dozen home runs. Very high on base percentage, flirting with a .380 mark thanks to a high walk total. And now another 1-2 from Allard. Breaking ball curves in for a called strike 3. Got him looking at the big, slow curveball that flipped in there at 71 miles an hour. So there's 1 out. That'll bring up Yo-Yo Morales, who has owned Lehigh Valley this year. He's batting .386 with 5 home runs against the IronPigs. Hit his 18th homer of the year last night in Game 2 when he drove in 5 runs. The pitch up and away, 1-0. He and Abimelech Ortiz are now tied for the team lead with 57 runs batted in. Allard, a quick worker typically, zips in the 1-0. And he tails that pitch outside, 2-0. Allard, 28 years old, but he's been around for a long time. He was the 14th overall pick of the 2015 draft. The Braves took him in the first round out of high school that year. Grew up in Southern California. The 2-0, tapped in the ground, foul to the left. And now 2-1, and Yo-Yo Morales. Parts of 9 years in the big leagues for Colby Allard, with Atlanta, Texas, Philadelphia, and Cleveland. Was with the Phillies a couple of years ago. The 2-1, changeup, swing and a miss. That changeup's so good. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This year, Allard has spent a little bit of time with Cleveland out of their bullpen. Also spent much of last year in the Guardians' bullpen. The 2-2 on the way. Morales takes high and wide. Mid-June, Allard was released from his deal with Cleveland in Columbus. 3 days later, the Phillies signed him and sent him to Lehigh Valley. This is his 3rd start in this stint for him with the IronPigs. Payout pitch got him swinging. The cutter strikes out Morales. Back-to-back strikeouts for Colby Allard to start his night. 0-0. Now the batter, Brady House. Otto Kemp is in left. Dylan Carlson in center. Brian De La Cruz is in right field with an all-more left side of the infield for Lehigh Valley. First pitch now to House. The right-handed batter takes a strike called. Robert Moore is at third. Dylan Moore is at short. Those 2 guys are not related. Christian Cairo's at second base. Felix Reyes at first. And Rene Pinto, the catcher. The 0-1, a curveball popped him up into shallow right. Cairo backs off from second base. He makes the catch. And the Wings go quietly in the first, 1-2-3. On his first pitch of the game, and then stranded Moore right there at second base. Now the 5th place hitter, Otto Kemp, leads off the second against Kent. Everybody in this Lehigh Valley lineup will be batting right-handed, with a mixture of right-handed hitters and a couple of switch hitters in there for the IronPigs. Kemp has gotten hot. He's 4 for 14 with a couple of home runs in this series. Batting .217 with 8 home runs now for the IronPigs. And the Kent pitch, Kemp takes a strike. 0-1. Kemp has been up with the Phillies a couple of different times this year after spending about half of last season with the Phillies. Kent takes the hands over the head to start the windup. And the 0-1, a breaking ball down and in. Got 2 lefties tonight that both start their windups taking their hands up above their head. You don't see a ton of pitchers that do that anymore. The pitch, off speed and low. 2 balls and a strike. Christian Cairo is on deck. And then Dylan Carlson in the top of the second inning. Kent tosses the next pitch home. Swinging a hard grounder right to third. Brady House stays down on it, pats the glove, and throws out Kemp at first base. 1 down in the second. Kemp and Allard, both lefties, both start their windups taking the hands over the head. They both got good change-ups. Kent throws a little bit harder than Allard, and Kent is a lot taller than Allard. Pitch to Christian Cairo, short right-handed hitter. Fastball in too tight for ball 1. Cairo hitting .267, but with a .412 on base percentage, 7th best in the league. He leads the league in walks with 61 of them. Wings nothing, Lehigh Valley nothing, and the 1-0. Swinging a ground ball into the hole at short. Lunging backhand play by Lipscomb. He rights himself, guns to first, but not in time. Tremendous stop by Lipscomb, lunging to his right to backhand that deep in the hole, but he had to kind of stagger for a second to right himself. Took him a little while to get rid of the throw, and that strong throw to first was just not quite in time. Infield single for Christian Cairo. And Cairo, who likes to run, is on. And now Dylan Carlson, the batter. Cairo 21 stolen bases. He does get thrown out a lot, though. Toss to first, and Cairo goes back standing up. Ray Ricker, the first base coach for Lehigh Valley, with the manager Tank Adamson at third base. Switch hitting Dylan Carlson, batting right-handed against Kent. Slightly closed stance for Carlson. Now the pitch. Breaking ball stays outside. Carlson's had a good series, 4 for 8 with a double and a homer. The home run coming left-handed. He's hitting just 182, though, overall this year on the IL between Iowa and Lehigh Valley. 6 home runs for Carlson. Lehigh Valley right smack dab in the middle of the league in terms of runs per game, averaging 5.2 runs per ball game. 1-0 pitch. Cairo doesn't go, and a swing and a miss. The changeup fooled Carlson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red Wings 8th in the league in runs per game, 5.3 runs a game. Lehigh Valley 10th in the league in that category. Cairo's got a decent lead at first. He's leaning. There he goes. The pitch high. Throw to second from Ford. Will not get him. Cairo dives in with a stolen base with Glasser covering. 22nd steal of the year for Cairo. So he's in the scoring position with 1 out. And a hitter's count for Carlson, 2 balls and 1 strike. Plate umpire Evan Johnson now walks up behind the plate. He wants Jackson Kent to move the rosin bag a little bit further down the back slope of the mound. Apparently that rosin bag was visible for Carlson as he was hitting. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kent stretches, looks to second. Here it comes. Swinging a foul straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's interesting. Lehigh Valley came into today's game 13th in the league. Lucky number 13. 13th in the league in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS, on base plus slugging percentage. 13th in the league in all of those categories. The 2-2. Carlson takes a changeup in the dirt. It's a full count. Carlson, the Taco Bell K-Man, so fans getting excited about the possibility of him striking out, I guess. Actually, he's not the Taco Bell K-Man. Take that back. Fans are getting into it, though, as if he were. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Kent brings it in there. Swinging a high fly ball into shallow right. Joey Weimer, shading his eyes from the sun with his bare right hand, will make the catch. Runner at second, Cairo stays put. And there are 2 away now in the second inning. Veteran catcher Rene Pinto is up next. IronPigs offense has come and gone a little bit this season. They have had a lot of call-ups and transactions throughout the year. The Red Wings have been very fortunate in that regard this season, with Seaver King landing on the injured list yesterday. King became just the 2nd Wings position player all year to go on the injured list. The other one, infielder Levi Jordan. Pinto, a right-handed hitter. The lefty Kent's pitch, a breaking ball that stays high, 1-0. Wings have been making a lot of transactions lately on the pitching side of the equation, and we could very well see a couple of new Red Wings tonight at some point. Connor Pilkington and maybe Kyle Nicholas. IronPigs nothing, Red Wings nothing. And the 1-0. Pinto swings and misses at a fastball that was up around the letters. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 15th game this year as an IronPig for Pinto, who began the year on the injured list, or actually landed on the injured list basically the first week of the season. Here it comes to him. Change up low. 2-1. Pinto's hitting 154 with a homer, but again, that's only in 14 games. Infield is playing him to pull. The second baseman, Glasser, is bird-dogging Cairo a bit at second base. The pitch. Curveball fouled away back in our direction. Now 2-2 on Pinto. Almost all the infield now covered up in the shadows. Just the backside of the right side of the infield is in the sun. Half of center field, all of right field still in the sun. And deep left, left center, and deep center in the sunshine as well. It'll be a 2-2 pitch from Kent. He fires. Pinto takes low. 2-3-2 counts in a row now for Kent. He's gone to a full count on 3 different hitters so far. He's gone to a 3-ball count on 4 of the 8 men he has faced. Now, Kent has thrown a few pitches in the first 2 innings, though he is potentially a strike away from keeping it 0-0 after an inning and a half. Kent readies himself on the mound and throws the payoff. Pinto swings and nicks a ground ball foul toward the third base dugout. Pinto extends the inning. Ninth place hitter Robert Moore would come up. Kent sets up toward the first base side of the rubber. Jackson brings the hands together right around the shoulders. Another 3-2. Pinto shatters his bat, lining one softly foul. Brady House went after that foul ball up the left field line, but also he avoided the barrel of the bat that was flying his way. That may have been the biggest reason. House was angling back and to his right at third base. That bat absolutely exploded. The barrel went flying toward Brady House. Pinto holding onto the handle of the bat. Walks back to the third base dugout to get a new bat. Bat boys on each side are sprung into action. Ethan runs out there to grab the barrel of the bat out in shallow left. Cam, the bat boy, meanwhile, takes advantage of the broken bat delay to bring out some new baseballs at the plate umpire Evan Johnson. Very good bat boy teamwork there here at ESL Ballpark. It's as if Cam and Ethan can communicate without saying anything at all to one another. This will be the 8th pitch now of this matchup. Here it comes. Pinto swings and misses. The new bat did him no good. The fastball got him. That's the inning. No runs, 1 hit. And a runner left at second base again by Jackson Kent. 0-0, middle of inning number 2 on Fox Sports 1280. Meanwhile, the Red Wings went 1-2-3 in their half of the first. It's 0-0 with Harry Ford batting cleanup for the Wings today, batting to begin this bottom of the second inning. Colby Allard winds and pitches, and the right-hand batting Ford takes strike 1. And Ford was lifted from game 1 last night when he got hit on the helmet with a pitch from Max Lazar, but bouncing right back and getting in there tonight. The 0-1, changeup swung on and missed, 0-2. First game of the Charlotte road trip, Ford was hit on the helmet, so twice now in the last week and a half, Ford has gotten beamed and has come out of the game. He has always gotten hit by a lot of pitches, Harry Ford. Allard's 0-2. Taken low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Allard going back to the changeup. This is Allard's 3rd start for Lehigh Valley. He got a no decision his last time out in a solid effort against Syracuse. 1-2 pitch. Just a bit low, and a challenge from Rene Pinto, the catcher. He thought that was in there. Well, let's see. This pitch was down around the bottom of the zone. Ford is walking off. That pitch was a strike.
Lehigh Valley has 2 challenges remaining.
Evan Johnson there, the plate umpire. The voice you heard, so it is a challenge that was successful from the catcher Pinto, and that gets his pitcher, Colby Allard, his 3rd strikeout already. Allard has fanned 3 of the 4 men he's faced. He's not a flamethrower. Allard's fastball will top out at only around 91, but that changeup is really good. Now the pitch to Andrew Pinckney. It's a cutter and a check swing foul. Squibbed off to the right. 1-1. Pinckney is 3 for 7 with a double in the series, and he had that incredible home run robbery last night, stealing a long ball away from Keaton Anthony. Allard winds in the southpaw's 0-1. A curveball, swing and a miss. Pinckney unable to time that slow curve from Allard. Allard certainly fits the description of being a savvy, crafty lefty. Pinckney, who has hammered Lehigh Valley in his career, batting .282 overall now in the season with 12 homers, 15 stolen bases. 0-2 pitch, fastball tails outside. Pinckney has steadily been raising his numbers this year. After that great second half last season. The pitch, low and outside. That was close. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pinckney's numbers now are starting to kind of approximate where they finished last year after that tremendous second half. Wings and IronPigs, 0-0 in the second inning. Allard unloads to the plate. Pinckney swings and smokes one up the middle. A diving backhand play by the second baseman, Cairo, behind the bag. And that's an out. What a play by Cairo. That was a shot past the mound, hit sharply by Pinckney, and Cairo diving it to his right, backhanded that straight behind second base just before the ball hit the back of the infield dirt. 5 up, 5 gone for Allard. See if Trey Lipscomb can get something going now for the Wings in the home half of the second. Right-handed hitter in there. Allard winds and pitches. Lipscomb lays off a fastball away for ball 1. Lipscomb is 3 for 11 with a home run last night. He already has a new career high now in home runs with 15. The 1-0 pitch, swinging a foul straight back, makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. Lipscomb continuing to hit a lot of extra base hits. He's got his slugging percentage into the top 20 in the league now. Allard, known for working quickly, throws the 1-1. Lipscomb pulls a ground ball wide of third. It's by the diving Robert Moore, and there's a base hit to left. And Lipscomb does reach base on the 2-out single. That will get Joey Weimer up there. Each Red Wings hit is a hit for the house, benefiting the Ronald McDonald House Charities, keeping families close when they need it most. A heartfelt thank you to the Greater Rochester McDonald's owner-operators for sponsoring the Hits for the House campaign. Lipscomb on at first. Allard now goes to the stretch, facing Joey Weimer in a 0-0 game. Weimer wags the bat around from the right side of the plate, and the pitch is lifted foul straight away to the right. And that will soar onto the, well, just below the roof of the Hardball Cafe, landing over there in section 203. 0-1 on Weimer. He's gone 0 for 8 in the series, 4 for his last 42 at the plate. Lipscomb takes his lead at first in the 0-1, a slow curve that slants in for a strike. Allard's thrown maybe 3 or 4 of those slow curveballs so far, and he's tossing them in there at 70, 71 miles an hour. What's he going to throw now? 0-2. Lipscomb runs. The pitch is low. Throw to second. Lipscomb slides. He's safe. He got the foot in there. Cairo was covering, but Lipscomb, who has not been running a lot, does get the steal, his 5th of the season. And as I mentioned earlier, Allard is not an easy guy to run on, but Lipscomb took off on the first move from Allard, and he guessed right. Every time the Red Wings steal a base, it benefits the Arc of Monroe, an inspiring organization supporting people who are living their lives with an unprecedented focus on possibilities. Special thank you to Lawley Insurance for their support of the Arc of Monroe for every Red Wings steal. Pitch to Weimer, knocked on the ground through the right side for a hit. Lipscomb digs his way around third. He's coming home. The throw from the right fielder, De La Cruz, not in time. Lipscomb slides in safely, and the Red Wings take the lead 1-0 on the Joey Weimer RBI single. That stolen base proved huge, getting Lipscomb into scoring position. A 2-out rally for the Red Wings has given them the first lead of the night. The Wings have played generally very, very well all year when they grab an early lead. Robert Hassel now will try to keep it moving. Lefty versus lefty. Weimer a short lead at first in the Allard pitch. Hassel taps one off the fist to second. Charging play by Cairo. He flips to first in time for the out. Hassel retired. And the inning is over. But the back-to-back two-out singles end up with a run on the board for the Wings. 1-0. They lead Lehigh Valley after 2 innings on Fox Sports 1280. He'll be followed by the leadoff man, Dylan Moore. The next pitch is a slider. Down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. See how Kent pitches now with a narrow lead. It's on the way. Moore jerks a ground ball on 1 hop to shortstop. Lipscomb Fields throws the first, and Robert Moore is out for the first out of the inning. Now the veteran Dylan Moore will come up, longtime Seattle Mariner. On the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard, they're now in the 7th inning in Columbus. Louisville leading 2-1. Worcester down the thruway in Syracuse has a 2-0 lead on the Mets, middle of the 3rd inning. Jack Anderson so far out pitching Tobias Myers. The pitch to Dylan Moore, ripped on a line down the left field side, but foul, pulled up onto the Davy berm. 0-1. Dylan Moore has sharply hit the first pitch he's seen twice. He led off the game by drilling one down the right field line for a double, and then Kent immediately stranded him at second base after that. The 0-1, a breaking ball, cut on and missed. Moore was trying to time a curveball there. Couldn't do it. 0-2. Kent trying to put him away. Eyes the target set up by Harry Ford. And here comes the 2-strike pitch. Fastball popped in the air behind first down the right field line. Falling into no man's land, and that is going to drop out of the reach of Morales. Moore rounds second. He's going to try to get to third. Long throw to third from Morales is off the line. House has to run it down, and Moore stands up at third base. It's a shallow pop-up down the right field line. Yo-Yo could not get to it. Racing way out from first base. Joey Weimer scrambling in from right, couldn't get there. Yo-Yo almost made the catch and then accidentally batted the ball against the sidewall. And Dylan Moore running hard the whole way gets a triple on that. So a double and a soft triple for Dylan Moore. Possible tying run is at third, and with 1 out, the Red Wings will play the infield in for Felix Reyes. Right-handed hitter. Kent going from the stretch. First pitch to the hard-hitting Reyes coming home. Breaking ball and a high fly ball to left center. Carrying well but playable. This will tie the game. Franklin makes the catch. Moore tags up, jogs home, and scores standing. It's 1-1. Reyes drives in his 57th run with that soaring fly ball to deep left center. Dylan Moore hustling his way into a 3-base hit. Gets himself home 1 pitch later on the sac fly. So now the bases are empty as Tommy Pham comes up. Kent returns to the full windup, and the left-hander's pitch very high off the mid of Harry Ford for a ball. 1-0. In big leagues, the Nationals have a 5-1 lead now over the Pirates in the 4th inning. Luis Garcia Jr., Dalen Lyle, and Jose Tena, 3 former Red Wings, have all homered tonight for the Nats. The pitch, a breaking ball that swerves in there for a strike on Pham. 1 ball and 1 strike. James Wood also has a triple for the Nats. Brian Reynolds, a home run off Foster Griffin for the Pirates' only run. The 1-1, lined into right field. Weimer angling back into his right, makes the catch. Pham is retired, and the inning is over. However, Lehigh Valley has tied the game up. A triple led to the run. It's 1-1. Red Wings and IronPigs, middle of the 3rd on Fox Sports 1280. 500 his last 13 games. The 0-1, breaking ball for a strike, 0-2. If you go back to May 20th over his last 26 games, Glasser's hitting .434. Got his batting average up to .313 all of a sudden. Doesn't have quite enough plate appearances to qualify for the league leaderboard, but he's getting very close. He's in the hole here, 0-2 as Allard fires, and a slider cuts low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Glasser's been making a few tweaks to his swing. He's one of these guys that tinkers a little bit. He's added a little bit of a unique move at the beginning of his swing where his right foot, his front foot toward the pitcher, kind of hangs in the air a little bit. The 1-2 is right down the middle, called strike 3. Fastball got him looking. Glasser may be expecting something else, and Allard threw that almost right down the middle. Allard, one time through the lineup, has fanned 4 Red Wings. Now the top of the lineup, Christian Franklin, who was his first strikeout victim. Franklin struck out looking, just like Glasser just did. Slightly built Colby Allard from the semi-windup tosses in the pitch. Goes to a backdoor cutter, but he leaves it outside for a ball. Back in that Toyota out-of-town scoreboard, Lehigh Valley's parent club, the Phillies, are off today. The rare Friday off game. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, fouled away to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies are playing at Kansas City and Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals, right next door to the football field there, the Chiefs' home ballpark, formerly Arrowhead Stadium, and they're playing a World Cup soccer game there. The 1-1 outside, 2-1. So the Royals and the Phillies are not playing today. Rare Friday off. Same goes for the Tigers and the Rangers, not playing today due to a World Cup soccer game. 2-1 pitch, swinging a foul, flared to the right, landing in the seats above and beyond the Wings dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Red Wings 1, Lehigh Valley 1. Twins and Yankees tied at 1. They're in the 3rd inning right now in New York. Cody Clemens is at his 15th home run, taking Garrett Cole deep. Trent Grisham, just off the injured list, is homered for the Yankees. 2-2 pitch on the way to Franklin. Down and in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Braves lead the Mets 2-0. Top of the 3rd inning from Atlanta. Michael Harris II is homered off of the Mets' Christian Scott. Again, those out-of-town scores brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Payoff pitch coming home. Franklin bounces one to shortstop. Big hop for Dylan Moore. He tosses to first perfectly. And Franklin is set aside for the 2nd out of the inning. And that'll bring up Yo-Yo Morales. Red Wings 1, Lehigh Valley 1. Morales struck out swinging in the first. Tall right-handed hitter. Allard works in the first pitch to Yo-Yo. Breaking ball popped up foul back behind the plate, and that will land in amongst the fans. 0-1. 3rd time Allard has started against the Wings. I would have sworn he had started more than that against the Wings, but his career ERA, 2 starts against the Wings, 2.25. He got a win against the Red Wings in July of 2019 in Gwinnett when he was pitching for the Stripers. The 0-1 now to Yo-Yo. Slow curve, it stays outside. The other time he faced the Red Wings before tonight was with Lehigh Valley here in Rochester, July of 2024. He got a no decision, though he pitched very well in that game. The 1-1, swinging a high fly ball the other way to right, chasing back De La Cruz. He's onto the track, and he has enough room to make the catch a step or 2 in front of the fence. The Red Wings go in order in the 3rd inning. On to the 4th in downtown Rochester with the Wings and the Lehigh Valley IronPigs knotted at 1 run apiece on Fox Sports 1280. In his first time up, Kent fires. De La Cruz takes low. Well-traveled Brian De La Cruz, the hitter. He was the most valuable player of the Dominican Winter League this past winter. And he's had a solid season so far for Lehigh Valley. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, lined into left. It's a base hit. Christian Franklin hustles over to cut the ball off near the corner, and De La Cruz will hold it first with a single. Well, man aboard to begin the 4th inning. That is the 4th hit surrendered by Kent. He's not had a 1-2-3 inning yet. Otto Kemp is up there next. Nice crowd on hand tonight for the baseball RPO fireworks triple header. Game began after a 1 hour, 6 minute long weather delay for the threat of bad weather tonight. Pitch coming home to Kemp. Change up, rolled to shortstop. Should be 2. Lipscomb underhands the 2nd one. Glasser to first, but not in time. Kemp hustled down the line, and I guess the ball was hit softly enough the Red Wings could not get the double play turned. Lipscomb made a rather long underhand feed to the 2nd baseman Glasser. If he had it to do over again, maybe Lipscomb would have thrown that overhand to get it to him quicker. Either way, Kemp is on at first via the fielder's choice. And there's one away now for Christian Cairo. Cairo reached on an infield hit in the second, stole second base, and then was stranded there by Jackson Kent. The pitch, Cairo swings and misses, 0-1. Among the fans here tonight, former Red Wing ticket manager Rob Dermody. Rob here with his family. Great to see Rob Dermody at the ball game tonight. Wings and IronPigs tied at 1 in the fourth. The 0-1 runner going. The pitch high. Throw to second on the money. And Kemp is safe. He dove in there, beating the tag from Glasser. Ford made a good throw down to second base. It was very close. But Kemp apparently got the hand in there before Glasser could tag him. Kemp used a little bit of that swim move, angling his body toward the outside of second base. Runner at second with one out. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Cairo takes a changeup outside, 2-1. Well, the Wings' inability there to get that double play turned could wind up costing them. Lehigh Valley, though, has struggled tonight with men in scoring position the first 4 innings of the game. Kent's 2-1. Cairo checks his swing. Did he go too far? He did not. He held up in time in the low slider. 3 balls, 1 strike. The Red Wings are really giving it to plate umpire Evan Johnson after that check swing. They thought he went too far, did Cairo, and with the naked eye, it certainly looked like Cairo went around. Kent comes back with a 3-1. It's inside, ball 4. Cairo adds on to his league-high walk total. That's his 62nd free pass drawn this year, and that will put runners at first and second for Dylan Carlson. First walk of the night from Kent. He has only walked 11 men as a Red Wing in about 37, 38 innings. Switching in, Carlson digging in from the right side of the plate. Red Wings 1, Lehigh Valley 1. Kent brings the hands together just above the letters. The pitch is outside, 1-0. That pitch, Kent actually brought his hands together more at the letters. Typically, when he comes set, he's more almost about chin high. Now he comes set again at around the letters. The delivery, swing and a little pop-up, shallow center. Out goes Glasser from second base. Pinckney comes in, and it drops in front of him. From the seat of his pants, he throws the ball to second. He will not get the out, and now the bases are loaded. Just a little pop-up into no man's land fell in there from Carlson. Glasser running out from second, peeled away as Pinckney called him off. The charging at center fielder Pinckney went into a slide, but the ball dropped just in front of him. And now the bases are loaded with only one out for Rene Pinto. Red Wing pitching coach Fernando Nieves now going out to the mound to have a word with Jackson Kent, who's been victimized by some soft contact this inning and hurt by the fact that the Wings did not get a double play on that Otto Kemp ground ball. Meanwhile, if it's time for your dental checkup, go where the pros go. Dr. Michael Mayer. 2026 is Dr. Mayer's 21st season as the Red Wings official team dentist. It's his 32nd year in practice on Fairport Road. Visit mayerdental.com and give him a call at 383-9220 to book your appointment. Get your smile looking its best with Dr. Michael Mayer. Rene Pinto struck out swinging in the second. Kemp is at third, Cairo's at second, Carlson at first. Jackson Kent from the stretch delivers, and a swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. A slider gets strike 1. Robert Moore is on deck. Lehigh Valley threatening to take their first lead of the game. 1-1 in the fourth inning. Kent stretches, again tight to the chest here. He's changed where he comes to the set position. The pitch is fouled away straight back. It's 0-2. Interesting that Kent has changed where he is coming set. Earlier in the game, he was coming set more about shoulder high and a little bit away from his chest. Now he's bringing the hands together in the stretch position, right at the letters, tight to the chest. The 2-strike pitch. Pinto swings and foul tips it into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. Big strikeout for Kent. He got Rene Pinto on 3 pitches. The slider was the finishing off pitch. So 2 away. And now it comes down to Christian Franklin's old University of Arkansas teammate, Robert Moore. Switch hitter digging in from the right side of the plate. He grounded out to Lipscomb at shortstop last inning. Kent's first pitch to him here. Breaking ball, check swing, and a strike. 0-1. Moore might have accidentally made some contact on that pitch, foul tipping it. Either way, strike one the count on Moore. Waits from a wide open stance. Kent delivers, and it's upstairs that time. A fastball at 93 miles an hour, leveling off the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wings 1, Lehigh Valley 1 in the 4th. With runners surrounding him, Kent stretches, and here's the pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul behind the plate. Kent is in front of Moore, 1-2. One more strike, and Kent leaves them loaded and keeps the game tied. Wings bullpen is beginning to stir a little bit, with Kent approaching at 70 pitches on the night. Runners lead at every bag. The left-hander ready on the mound. Kent looks home and fires. Changeup fades outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. De La Cruz began the inning with a single. Kemp then reached on the fielder's choice before Cairo walked. Carlson got the pop-up single. Pinto struck out for the second out of the inning. And the 2-2 now to Robert Moore. Breaking ball and a high fly ball into left. Franklin is there. He's waiting on it, and he will put it away. That's the inning. Jackson Kent leaves the bases loaded, and he leaves the game tied at 1. Wings 1, IronPigs 1, middle of the 4th on Fox Sports 1280. By the Flower City Group, then kids can run the bases after the game thanks to Wegmans. Go to redwingsbaseball.com for tickets. Check of upcoming wing promotions brought to you by Mini Melts. Everyone likes ice cream. Everyone will love Mini Melts. It's a 1-1 game, bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch of this frame from Colby Allard to Brady House is a fastball that tickles the outside corner for a strike. Jackson Kent just wiggled out of a jam in the top of this inning. The next pitch to House on the way. Brady swings, pulls a ground ball to third. Lunging backhand stab by Moore down on a knee. And he airmails the throw to first way over Felix Reyes. And House is aboard. It's backed up by Cairo. He runs back and tags House, but House did not make a turn towards second. So he is not called out. It's a good lunging stab by Robert Moore behind third. Kind of going on his knees to backhand it. He stood up and then it just sailed the throw way over Reyes, who had no chance to catch it at first base. That will go as an infield single for Brady House due to the effort required by Robert Moore to stop the ball. Now Harry Ford, who's hitting cleanup for the Wings tonight. Ford struck out looking in the second. 1 run, 5 hits for Lehigh Valley, 1 run and 3 hits for the Red Wings. Allard sets up middle of the rubber. House a short lead at first. The pitch. Tails low and outside. 1-0. Tomorrow night on the 4th of July, a 6:45 start time. Andrew Painter will be on the mound against Luis Perales. The pitch. Ford takes a strike. Painter, highly regarded Phillies prospect, had spent most of the year in the big leagues. The Phillies had him in their rotation, but he had been struggling, and this will be just his second start, maybe third start since getting demoted. The 1-1. That is a strike to the inside corner with a cutter. 1-2. Some high velocity from the starters tomorrow, with Luis Perales on the mound for the Red Wings and Andrew Painter for Lehigh Valley. That will be Painter's second start since getting optioned from Philadelphia. Cairo, the second baseman, pinches toward the middle on Ford. House at first, nobody out, 1-1 tie. The pitch got him swinging. High fastball strikes out Ford, and Allard has had a good strikeout night. He's fanned 5 men already in just 3 1/3 innings. Now we'll see how Andrew Pinckney does. Pinckney hit a low liner up the middle that Cairo dove and caught behind second, stealing a hit away from Pinckney. Right-handed batter with loads of speed and loads of power is standing in. Holds the bat high near his right shoulder, wiggling around a two-tone bat. The pitch is a cutter inside off the mid of Pinto, but it stays right there by him, holding house at first base. 1-0. Pinckney looks down to Mario Lasone, the Wings' third base coach, who has a few signs to give. Anthony DeLeo, the first base coach for the Wings, tasked with keeping a close eye on that cagey move from Colby Allard. Allard ready on the mound on the 1-0. Changeup stays high. 2-0. Red Wings 1, Lehigh Valley 1. House taking the same lead as before at first base. The delivery, check swing and a miss at a high cutter. 2-1. Had all those runs scored yesterday, but more of a low-scoring affair so far tonight. It's not as warm, maybe not as humid, and certainly not as windy. 2-1 pitch. Pinckney swings and misses at the changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looked out past left field. The other side of High Falls, it looks like it could be maybe showering a little bit at the moment. But it would appear to be fairly light precipitation, if indeed that is a shower on the other side of the Genesee River. 2-2 pitch coming home and outside for a ball. That was close. And Rene Pinto, it looked like for a moment was challenging that, but I guess not. He wound up not challenging it. So Pinckney has battled to count full 3-2. See if the Wings get aggressive here and start House from first base in a 3-2 pitch. He is going, and the pitch is ball 4, down and in. Now Pinckney draws the first walk issued by Allard tonight. And now the Red Wings have runners at first and second with only 1 out for Trey Lipscomb. Trey singled with 2 outs in the second, then stole second base, and a pitch or two later, Joey Weimer knocked him in with a base hit to right. That's the only run of the game for the Wings. This is the first time all night the Red Wings have had 2 men on base at the same time. Lipscomb waiting. Here it is. Change up, popped up, straight back, a foul ball out of play. 0-1 on Lipscomb. Former Tennessee Volunteer facing Colby Allard. Allard stares in, comes set, checks over the runners. The pitch, slow curveball, bends inside. There's that slow curveball again that Allard's been using about 1 time an inning. Red Wings looking to snap a 3-game losing skid tonight. And here's the pitch on the way. Fastball inside. 2-1. That did not miss by much. Pinckney very fast at first. House average speed at best at second base. Count is in the favor of Lipscomb, and the 2-1 has lined it down the left field side. It's a foul ball. Wasn't it real hard? Lipscomb pulled that foul up the left field side, and he cracked his bat. Well, Lipscomb has to walk to the first base dugout. Cam the bat boy already emerging with a new bat for Lipscomb. Well, Lipscomb makes the exchange and now meanders back to home plate with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. 1-1 tie in the 4th inning. Colby Allard, parts of 9 years in the big leagues. He's pitched in over 100 games in the major leagues, kind of splitting his time as a starter and a reliever in the major leagues. The pitch, Lipscomb swings, hits a 1-hopper to shortstop, fielded by Dylan Moore to Cairo at second for 1, over to first for 2. It's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. No runs, an infield hit, a walk, 1 man is left on base. Red Wings 1, Lehigh Valley 1. The top of the 5th inning is next on Fox Sports 1280. The Jackson Kent pitch up too high for ball 1. Wings have Jack Sinclair now beginning to tune up in the bullpen. This will be the 70th pitch of the night for Kent. And it is a ball inside, 2-0. Rochester Educational Opportunity Center has free academic, career, and vocational training. Learn more at rec.brockport.edu. REOC, life-changing opportunities. 2-0 pitch, a changeup outside. 3-0 now on Moore. Moore has doubled and tripled tonight. And now time has been called, and eagle-eyed plate umpire Evan Johnson has noticed that the visitors' bullpen gate is opened up. So one of the IronPigs relievers has to go latch that baby shut. The IronPigs are expected, by the way, to use Brad Keller at some point tonight out of that bullpen on injury rehab from the Phillies. Now Kent's 3-0 to Dylan Moore. It's very high, and Dylan Moore draws a 4-pitch walk to begin this inning. And the leadoff man has reached for the IronPigs for the third time tonight. Moore will run some. He's at first base, having stolen 9 bases this season. And Felix Reyes, the batter, is 0 for 1 with a sac fly in the third that tied the game up. Big right-handed hitter, even stance at the plate, knees slightly flexed. Kent's pitch, fastball drilled on a line to center. Pinckney playing deep will make the catch. That was smoked. And Dylan Moore, after going halfway, returns to first base. Man, that was a hard line drive, 107 miles an hour off the bat, and almost on a line right to Andrew Pinckney in center field. Now Tommy Pham, the hitter. Pham has gone 0 for 2, lining out to right field his last time up. Kent looks to first, throws the pitch, breaking ball low. Pham has been around for a long time at 38 years old, and I had forgotten that early in his career in the minor leagues, in 2007, in fact, so a long time ago, Tommy Pham was a Batavia Muck Dog. Back when the Batavian Muck Dogs were still around. The old New York Pin League. The 1-0 outside with a changeup. So Tommy Pham, when he was a young player in pro baseball coming up with the Cardinals, spent most of a summer in Western New York over in Batavia. 2 balls, no strikes. Kent pitches and ducks down and in, a pitch that missed. 3-0. The hot, muggy weather tonight, Kent might be starting to tire a little bit. He walked more on 4 pitches. Now he's behind Pham, 3-0. Dangerous pitch now to Tommy Pham. Here it comes. Moore is running. It's a called strike. Throw to second is offline into center field, and Dylan Moore hops up, scrambles to third, and makes it. Well, you don't see guys run often on 3-0 counts, but they're going to send Moore back to first base, it looks like. They're sending Moore back to first base. I'm guessing this is for umpire interference, perhaps. When Harry Ford reared back to throw the ball to second, he must have made contact with the plate umpire, Evan Johnson, and they are sending Dylan Moore back to first base. So he stole second, went to third on a throw into center field from Ford, running on a 3-0 count, which almost never happens. But Moore is being sent back to first base, I believe, due to umpire interference. You don't see that happen much. The Wings catch a break then because of that. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch, swinging a drive the other way in the air to right. Weimer's retreating to the warning track. He jumps up at the fence, and Weimer caught it right up against the wall. Moore has to go back to first, and Weimer maybe robbed a home run from Tommy Pham. See how close to the fence he was. Pham lifted that one to deep right, and Weimer has been playing a terrific outfield. Got back there onto the warning track near the fence with plenty of time to gather himself, jumped up and caught it. That was going to be very, very close to a home run. It is the second out of the inning. Moore still at first base as Brian De La Cruz is the hitter. 1-1 game in the 5th. The pitch on the way, cuts inside, 1-0, and a challenge from Harry Ford on this pitch. I think Harry's going to be right. This is the first Red Wings challenge of the game, and it is a strike. Well, it's 0-1 on De La Cruz. He is 1 for 2 with a single. That Fly ball from Pham had enough of an arc to it the way it was coming down. I don't know that that was going to be a home run, but it certainly was a fine play from Weimer nonetheless. Toss to first base. Dylan Moore scoots back safely, standing up. Certainly a big call this inning, the umpire interference on the throw to second from Harry Ford when Dylan Moore was running, and there was zero argument from Lehigh Valley. 0-1 the count on De La Cruz. Kent brings it in there, and he misses high and wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield playing deep. There's room to hit in right center as Jack Sinclair continues to play some catch in the Red Wings bullpen. This will be the 81st pitch of the game from Kent. It's on the way and low and in the dirt. 2-1. Otto Kemp is on deck, a man who really hammers left-handed pitching. You get the feeling that Kent might be facing his last batter no matter what. And the Red Wings have generally been taking Kent out of the game at around 80 pitches anyway. Moore at first, 2 men gone, and the 2-1. It is poked foul to the right. That will drift back in amongst the fans, landing in the back of the 100 level. 2-2 on De La Cruz. Was surprising just to see more running on a 3-0 pitch to Tommy Pham. You just don't see guys run often on 3-0 counts. Kent now a strike away from wrapping up the inning. He zips it home, swinging a flare to the right side. That will plop down in front of the Hardball Cafe. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Joey Weimer, Robert Hassel, and Philip Glasser coming up in the bottom of the 5th when we get there. Kent comes set again at the letters. There goes Moore. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. The high fastball fans De La Cruz. The inning is over as Kent works around the leadoff walk to Dylan Moore. Middle of the 5th inning, Red Wings 1, Lehigh Valley 1 on Fox Sports 1280. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1-1. The Red Wings and the IronPigs are tied up. Joey Weimer leads off the inning with some rain in the region again now, unfortunately. The lefty Colby Allard's pitch is taken at the knees for a called strike 1. Remember, the grounds crew is out there talking to plate umpire Evan Johnson between innings, and there are some thunderstorms again that have popped up right in the vicinity of downtown Rochester. This weather this week's been horrendous. The 0-1 launched foul back into the right. It's 0-2. Hopefully we will catch a break and this rain will miss us. This game began after a 1 hour and 6 minute long weather delay, which was really for the threat of severe weather because it never did anything more than shower very briefly. The 0-2 smacked on the ground to second base. Waiting on it, Cairo Fields throws to first, and Weimer is gone for the first out of the inning. This date in Red Wings history is brought to you by Starbridge. July the 3rd, 10 years ago today, the Red Wings ace Jose Barrios threw a 4-hit complete game at Syracuse, and he did so throwing only 91 pitches, 71 strikes. Barrios used to own Syracuse in those days. Robert Hassel, the batter, and the pitch is grounded up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Hassel singles. Robert just bleached his hair blonde overnight, trying to change his luck, and he gets his first hit of the game on that ground ball into center field. Wings have the possible go-ahead run aboard with 1 out for the hot-hitting Philip Glasser. 11 years ago today, the Red Wings were playing in Allentown against Lehigh Valley in the sort of game that probably won't happen anymore. The Red Wings beat the IronPigs that night 6-5 in 16 innings. That was before the new extra inning rule, which puts a runner at second base. Lehigh Valley pitchers at one point in that game retired 29 straight Red Wing batters. Between the 5th and the 14th innings, 29 Red Wings in a row were set aside by Lehigh Valley's pitchers in that one. First pitch here to Glasser. Phillip takes strike 1. Michael Tonkin had a stretch in that game where he struck out 8 of 9 IronPigs. Nate Hansen eventually drove in what proved to be the game winner for the Wings in the top of the 16th inning. Throw to first. Back dives Weimer. The Wings Had a couple of guys ejected in that game. Wings manager Mike Quade got ejected. And longtime Red Wing pitcher Logan Darnell at one point had to bat for himself. The first Red Wing pitcher to bat in a while. In fact, no Wings pitcher has had to swing a bat much since then. 0-1 the count, the delivery. It's a fastball for a called strike, and Glasser finds himself behind 0-2. This date in Red Wings history brought to you by Starbridge. Starbridge partners with people who have disabilities, their families, and others who support them to achieve success in education, employment, and healthy living. Visit starbridgeinc.org to find out more. Allard looks to first, throws over there, and Weimer dives back. July 3rd, also the anniversary of the first ever night game in International League history. Not quite 100 years ago today, 1930, first night game in the history of this league. And it was in Buffalo at Old Offerman Stadium. Montreal beat the Buffalo Bisons. Time called now, and a balk has been called. A balk on Allard that will send Hassel to second base. I said Weimer at first, Hassel at first. He gets balked to second as Allard had already thrown a couple of balls over there. And I don't know if he started come set and stopped or what, but a third disengagement, I believe, as Allard had backed off the rubber. So that was his third disengagement. That balks Hassel into scoring position. The 0-2, Glasser knocks a ground ball foul to the first base dugout, staying alive. This is exactly the sort of spot Glasser's been delivering in a lot lately. Potential go-ahead run into scoring position with a 0-2 count on Philip Glasser with one away in the home half of the fifth. On the other side of the Genesee River right now, you can see it's really raining at the moment. The pitch coming home from Allard. Swinging a fly ball the other way to left. Backing off in a hurry, Otto Kemp. He lunges and he makes the backhand stab as he got to the warning track. Excellent play by Otto Kemp at a ball that really took off the bat of Glasser. But Kemp ranged back there and caught that at the last moment. Hassel returns to second base. Boy, it looked for all the world like that was going to burn at Kemp. But he made a lunging backhand grab at the last instant on the warning track. Now Christian Franklin will try to come through. Franklin has gone 0 for 2 so far tonight. And Allard now backs off the rubber. Kind of a weird-looking sky at the moment. Beyond left field, very dark and gray. But there's also some light in the sky as well. Cutter hangs up and outside on Franklin, 1-0. So to the right of the ballpark, you've got lots of blue sky. To the left, a lot of gray sky. There's a very clear difference. 1-0 pitch, swing and a looping line drive. Base hit into right center field. The Wings take the lead. Hassel around third. He scores standing up without a play. It is 2-1 Red Wings on the two-out RBI single from Christian Franklin. And yesterday, Lehigh Valley did a bunch of two-out damage. The Wings with some two-out damage tonight in a lower scoring game so far. Now Yo-Yo Morales will try to add on with a bit more two-out magic. Yo-Yo 0 for 2 tonight, though he flied out to the warning track and right, his last plate appearance. Franklin tiptoes away from Felix Reyes at first base. Big lead. The pitch from Allard is a breaking ball that stays upstairs. 1-0. Outfield deep, spread apart and straight away. The second baseman, Cairo, shades toward the middle. The pitch, swing and a miss. Ferocious cut at a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the balk this inning turned up to be big. Throw to first. Franklin dives in there. And the balk that got Hassel to second base was due to the third disengagement. As Allard had thrown over to first a couple of times, and then he backed off the rubber. He had forgotten he had thrown over there twice. Ended up being a huge play. 1-1. Morales swings, taps one toward the mound. Allard has it squibbed by him, and he's furious at himself. Everybody is safe. A little squibber off the bat of Morales. It must have had some very wild spin. Allard is about as good a fielding pitcher as there is in this league, and that one got by him. On the front of the mound, he tried to snag it, and the ball took a spin and got by him. The shortstop, Dylan Moore, came in and fielded it and then had no play, and Phil Kandari, the pitching coach, is out to the mound to try and settle in Allard. That is going as a spinning infield single for Yo-Yo Morales, and Allard got very angry at himself for not making the play after that. I'm sure part of that is because Allard is so good at fielding his position. He is, again, about as good a fielding pitcher as there probably is in the league right now. And it's so unusual to see him not make a play on a bouncing ball like that, which probably gives you an idea of just how much spin there was on the ball. But that last hop the ball took right in front of Allard, it really spun away from him, took an erratic bounce. We'll see if Brady House and the Wings can now take further advantage of it. Franklin at second, Morales at first. House reached on an infield hit his last time up. Right-handed batter. Allard stretches, looks over the runners, and the pitch is smacked in the ground up the middle. It's a base hit. Franklin zooms around third. He'll score. Ball cut off in left center by Carlson. Morales waved around, and he will score as well. 2 runs come in. 4-1 Red Wings. House stands up at second base. House jumping on the first pitch hit a one-hopper that almost took out umpire Chandler Durham. It got by the shortstop Moore. Carlson cut the ball off well in left center. His throw came in to the shortstop Dylan Moore, but he kind of short-hopped the throw and then did not get a great grip on the ball immediately. And so his throw home was a tad late. Franklin and Morales each scoring on what will be an RBI double for House, and 2 runs batted in. Harry Ford now the hitter. The pitch is a changeup outside. 1-0. It's a 3-run 5th inning for the Red Wings. Wings were very fortunate that Allard did not make the play on the Morales bouncing, spinning comebacker. The 1-0, Ford looks it into the mitt low, 2-0. Now the ball House just hit, the hardest hit of the inning for the Wings. That's the 7th double for House. The 2-0 pitch. Ford takes low, and it gets by the catcher Pinto rolling behind him. House races to third, rounds the bag, but then throws on the brakes as Pinto retrieves the ball back against the backstop. 3-0 on Harry Ford. Allard's pitch was low, and Pinto a little bit late getting the glove down and went right through his legs. 3-0 to Harry Ford. Red Wings 4, Lehigh Valley 1, bottom of the 5th. The pitch coming home to Ford. Harry takes ball 4 high and outside. And the Wings now have men at the corners. House at third after the wild pitch. A challenge, though, from Rene Pinto, the catcher. That caught the corner.
The call's overturned. Lehigh Valley has 2 challenges remaining.
Wow. We'll forget about the walk for now. Ford, after drop of the bat and starting to first base, has come back with a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Pinto challenging at ball 4, and he was correct. That pitch just did nick the up and away corner, and I mean just barely. 3 balls and a strike. House leads down the third base line in foul territory. Action beginning behind Allard in the bullpen. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back into the right, filling up the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This game is very close to being into the hands of both bullpens. Certainly looks like Jackson Clare will be coming in for the Wings in the next half inning. The runs the Wings have scored in the bottom of the 5th will give Jackson Kent a chance at a win. Allard's 3-2. Ford fouls it away straight back. Still a full count on Harry. He has struck out twice tonight, once looking and once swinging. Andrew Pinckney would be next if the Red Wings can keep this inning going. Time called now, and a clock violation's been called on Colby Allard. And so Ford, without seeing a 3-2 pitch, walks. And Allard wants to know what happened. And Tank Adamson races out of the dugout. Allard is really angry with Evan Johnson. And it's a pace of play violation on Allard, resulting in ball 4. It was an automatic ball, and since the count was already 3-2, it counts as ball 4. And Allard is now being ushered by his catcher Pinto back toward the mound. Tank Adamson had interrupted things to get a clarification there from Evan Johnson, as now Allard makes his way back to the pitcher's mound. He's still confused. He got a clock violation of some sort. And so Ford winds up walking without actually seeing that 3-2 pitch. Now Andrew Pinckney. Pinckney's 0 for 1 with a walk. Pinto is still chatting with the plate umpire Evan Johnson about that call. Wings have certainly caught some breaks this inning, propelling themselves into a 4-1 lead. Pinckney now can further that advantage. Allard stretches and fires. It's a ball high, 1-0. Over 20 pitches now thrown this inning, 2 by Allard. House is at third base. Ford is at first. The 1-0. Pinckney takes outside, 2-0. Some of the things that have happened this inning seem to have almost rattled Allard a little bit. Pinckney waiting for the 2-0. Here it comes. Swing and a foul ball straight down to the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. With 1 out this inning, Hassel singled. With 2 away, he was balked to second. And then Christian Franklin singled him in, lining 1 to right center. Yo-Yo Morales then got the infield hit before the House 2-run double. The pitch on the way, and a bouncing ball to the right side. Backhanded by the first baseman Reyes. He underhands to Allard, who did not catch it. House scores in the play. Pinckney safe at first. Ford is at second. It's 5-1. Reyes' feed was a little high to Allard sprinting to the bag and maybe a little bit behind him. And Allard reaching up to catch the ball, could not secure it. Wings will send their 9th hitter to the plate in the form of Trey Lipscomb. That's going to be all for Allard as Tank Adamson is going to the mound. The Wings have scored 4 times here in the 5th. They lead 5-1 as Lehigh Valley makes a pitching change. Let's hear about the new pitcher for the IronPigs when we return right after this on Fox Sports 1280. South African-born, Australia-raised Mitch Noonborn is now on the mound for Lehigh Valley, replacing Colby Allard. The Wings have scored 4 runs this inning, sending 8 men to the plate so far. That last infield hit from Andrew Pinckney, knocking in House from third base. Felix Reyes backhanded the ground ball from Pinckney wide of the bag, underhanded to Allard covering, and Pinckney might have beaten the feed to first anyway. Trey Lipscomb now comes up to face the 6-foot-tall Mitch Noonborn, who just recently turned 29 years old. Noonborn comes set, righty-to-righty matchup, and the delivery is low and outside, 1-0. Lipscomb 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored tonight. This is Noonborn's 6th appearance with Lehigh Valley this year. He's pitched for several teams this season in the Phillies system. The 1-0 pitch, low, 2-0. Noonborn has spent his entire career in the Phillies organization. And though he grew up in Australia, played his junior college baseball in Mason City, Iowa. Mitch Noonborn. Here it is, swinging a soft foul ball at the plate. That may have clipped Lipscomb in the foot. 2-1 the count. 5-1 Red Wings now in the 5th inning. This is the 13th, make it his 14th career AAA appearance for Noonborn, who also pitched in 8 games last year for Lehigh Valley, all as a starter. He looks over the runners and now throws the pitch. Low and outside, blocked by the catcher Pinto. 3-1. Noonborn made, I mentioned, several starts for Lehigh Valley last year, but he did not make any starts against the Wings. This is the first time the Red Wings have seen Noonborn, who's now pitching exclusively out of the bullpen. Pinckney at first, Ford at second, and the 3-1 is taken down and away for ball 4. And the Wings have loaded up the bases for Joey Weimer, the man who began the inning by grounding out to second base. Big inning here for the Red Wings, could get even larger right now with Weimer at the plate. Weimer's gone 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the second inning. That started the scoring tonight. Noonborn still working from the stretch. Pitch to Weimer, low and outside, 1-0. Noonborn behind Weimer. Here's the pause and the pitch on the way. Weimer swings and smacks a ground ball to left field. Ford will score. Here comes Pinckney. He'll score 2. And it's now a 7-1 Red Wings lead as Weimer drives in his second and third runs of the night with that bases loaded single. Lipscomb holds at second base after advancing. That closes the book on starter Colby Allard. 7 runs allowed in 4 2/3 innings. On 8 hits, he walked 2, struck out 5, and threw a wild pitch. First 4 innings, though, of Allard's start, he was very good. Robert Hassel batting for the second time now this inning. Pitch on the way. The left-hand batter checks his swing. Did he go around? No, he didn't. And that was a low splitter from Noonborn for ball 1. Hassel, the first base runner of the inning, reaching on a single. And again, there was a balk that sent him to second base. From there, he would score the go-ahead run and the 2-out Franklin RBI hit. Noonborn pauses at the belt and throws the 1-0. Hassel swings, grounds one to first, handled by Reyes. He waves away Noonborn, goes to the bag, and that ends the inning. But the Red Wings send 11 batters to the plate, score 6 runs, and they have taken a 7-1 lead now over Lehigh Valley with 5 complete on Fox Sports 1280. Ever wish you could call the bullpen in your home's energy usage? Amped provides free consultation to improve any home's comfort, affordability, and help you make the switch to clean energy. Visit ampedproject.org/bullpen to learn more. Otto Kemp leading off the 6th against Sinclair. The delivery, fastball down and in. Kemp has gone 0 for 2 tonight. Did reach on a fielder's choice his last time up against Jackson Kent. Jack Sinclair fires, and a breaking ball stays inside. 2-0. Jackson Kent. And a challenge here from Harry Ford. A challenge on this pitch. That was a ball inside.
The goal is confirmed. Rochester has 1 challenge remaining.
And that's the voice of Evan Johnson doing a good job of explaining things there. Wings have 1 challenge left. They've gone 1 for 2 tonight. 2-0 the count on Kemp. Jackson Kent pitched 5 innings, allowed 1 run on 5 hits. He walked 2, struck out 4. Lehigh Valley 1 for 8 against him with men in scoring position. The 2-0, a slider that sweeps in there for a called strike 1. 84 pitches, 47 strikes for Kent tonight. Sinclair working from the stretch. University of Central Florida product deals. Slider stayed a tad high, perhaps. And now it's a 3-1 count on Otto Kemp, a guy that the Phillies signed in July of 2022 as a non-drafted free agent out of Point Loma Nazarene in San Diego. Sinclair whips it home. Breaking ball fouled away straight back. Point Loma Nazarene has one of the most beautiful settings for a ballpark in all of baseball. Pro baseball, Major League Baseball, amateur baseball, you name it. The baseball field overlooks the Pacific Ocean. 3-2 pitch. Slider hit in the air to shallow right. Falling quickly. Joey Weimer on the run. Can't get there. That floats in safely for a little bloop single from Kemp. So he's aboard to begin this top half of the sixth. Don't know if we're in the clear as far as that rain is concerned or not, but during the pitching change last inning and before this inning, nobody from the grounds crew came out there to check in with the plate umpire, Evan Johnson. I think that stuff maybe just did skirt us. So now Christian Cairo, he's reached twice with an infield single and a walk. Sinclair whips home the first pitch to him. His fastball sinks too low for ball one. Sinclair, 27 years old. This is his 33rd Red Wings appearance of the year. 1-0 pitch, taken for a strike. Sinclair 4-0, a 4.14 earned run average. Also one save. That Otto Kemp single, the 32nd hit Sinclair has allowed in 37 innings this season. 1-1 the count. Here it comes. Swinging a pop-up behind first. Yo-Yo Morales over by the side wall will have just enough room to make the catch. Cairo fouls out to Yo-Yo Morales for the first out of the inning. On our Toyota out-of-town scoreboard, a final in from Columbus. Louisville beat the Clippers today 3-1. Worcester's still leading Syracuse. It's 4-2. That game's in the sixth inning now in Syracuse. Christian Campbell 2 for 3 with a double for the Woo Sox tonight. The pitch coming home, waved down and missed by Carlson, who's now batting left-handed. Dylan Carlson, a switch hitter, 1 for 2 with a single tonight. Durham and Jacksonville right now in first place in the second half in the early going. They're both off to 7-2 starts. The delivery lifted foul to the left out of play. 0-2. Durham is leading Gwinnett tonight 3-0 in the eighth inning at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. And Jacksonville got rained out in Nashville. They'll have to make that up as part of a 4th of July doubleheader now tomorrow. 0-2 pitch. Slap foul to the left. We'll do it again. Buffalo is trailing in St. Paul 3-2 in the seventh inning. Charles McAdoo's been tearing the cover off the ball in that series. He has homered for the Bisons. Bisons have been pitching well against St. Paul, and that is a Saints team that scores a ton of runs. The pitch, a changeup low. Walker Jenkins, perhaps the Twins' top prospect, 2 for 4 with a home run tonight. Cody Morissette is also homered. Out-of-town scores brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1 on, 1 out, 7-1 Red Wings. And the pitch, down and in with a changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 7 runs, 9 hits for the Wings. 1 run at 6 hits for Lehigh Valley. Sinclair looks over the shoulder at the base runner, throws the pitch home, and Carlson takes a fastball high and outside. Nationals have added on to their lead tonight in D.C. over the Pirates. The Nationals in game 1 of that homestand now leading 7-1 over the Buccos. 3-2 the count. And now the pitch. Swinging a flare off to the left out of play. Still 3-2. Luis Garcia Jr. just homered again for the Nationals. His second of the night. The former Red Wing with a shot there in the bottom of the 7th inning to add on to that Nats lead, making it 7-1. Garcia about as hot as it gets right now in the big leagues. He is 2 for 4 tonight with 2 homers and 3 batted in. Nationals have hit 4 home runs. Another 3-2. Carlson takes a called strike 3 in the outside corner. He will challenge the call, however. Well, we'll see if it was a ball or a strike, and it was a ball. Well, Carlson was right. Lehigh Valley's got a perfect 3 for 3 on challenges tonight. And that walk on a 3-2 pitch instead of a strikeout puts runners at first and second for Rene Pinto as Lehigh Valley tries to get back into this game. Lehigh Valley's batters this year have generally not been good on challenges, but Carlson nailed that one. Sinclair would love a double play ball right now from Pinto. The pitch. Pinto pops one in the air down the right field line, curving away from Joey Weimer, and that will end up out of play on the Davey berm. 0-1. Yankees now with a 3-1 lead in their game against the Twins. They played 3 innings at Yankee Stadium tonight. Ben Rice is homered along with Trent Grisham. Rice now with 24 home runs. Pinto struck out twice against Kent. The 0-1 fouled away back against the screen, making it 0-2. Atlanta 4, Mets 2. That game being played in Atlanta. 2 teams that have been struggling, the Mets and the Braves. Braves only 2.5 games in front of the idle Phillies atop the National League East. Bottom of the 6th inning tonight in Atlanta. Matt Olson has just clobbered his 21st home run for the Braves. Juan Soto's hit his 18th for the Mets. 2-strike pitch. Pinto swings and misses. The slider struck him out. Pinto has fanned 3 times tonight in those out-of-town scores, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Now the switch-hitting Robert Moore comes up to bat left-handed. Moore has gone 0 for 2 tonight. Eddie Jean has begun to warm up in the Red Wings bullpen. The Wings are ahead 7-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Sinclair slings in the first pitch to Moore. Fastball outside. 96 miles an hour in that heater from Jack Sinclair. House is in a bit at third base in case Moore would try to prolong the inning with a bunt hit. Wings outfield straight away. And the Sinclair 1-0. Moore swings, drives one deep to right field. Weimer's back, it's over his head. That's gone. It's a line drive homer from Robert Moore. And now it's 7-4 Red Wings. 7th home run this season for Robert Moore. We talked about him last night having surprising power for a guy his size. One of the smaller players in the league, but yeah, 7 home runs. And that was a shot from Robert Moore that got out quickly into the home bullpen. Matt Leatroy is going to the mound right now, and it looks like Eddie Jean, who just started warming up, is going to be coming into the game to face the top of the Lehigh Valley lineup. So it's another pitching change for the Wings, who are now leading only by 3 runs, 7-4, 2 outs, bases empty in the top of the 6th. We'll be back right after this on Fox Sports 1280. Well, very quickly, another amped pitching change with Eddie Jean replacing Jack Sinclair here in the 6th. Amped is your local energy advisor, connecting you to the resources, vetted installers, and programs you need to make smart energy choices at home. To learn more, head to ampedproject.org/bullpen. Jack Sinclair had not allowed any home runs all year until recently. Now he's given up a couple of home runs in 37 2/3 innings. He pitches 2/3 of an inning tonight, allowing 3 runs and 2 hits, 1 walk. He struck out 1 and gave up that home run to Robert Moore. Dylan Moore now the batter against Eddie Jean with the bases emptied with 2 men out in the top of the 6th. Jean rifles in the pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 on Dylan Moore, who's not been retired yet tonight. He has a double down the right field line, a bloop triple up the right field side, and a walk. All of that was against the starter Jackson Kent. Jean stretches on the big burly right-hander's pitch. Swing and a miss at a high hard one. 0-2. 96 miles an hour in that fastball from Eddie Jean, who recently turned 25 years old. Dominican Republic native, now trying to polish off Dylan Moore and get this game to the bottom of the 6th. Jean stares in, brings the hands together. Ford puts up the target behind the plate. It's on the way, and a swing and a bouncing ball foul behind the plate. A fastball that was really boring in on Dylan Moore. Jean has been leading the league in appearances much of the way this season. This is now the 39th game he's pitched. 2-1 record, a team-high 9 saves, and a .372 earned run average for Jean, who's allowed only 27 hits in 38 2/3 innings. Another 0-2. Taken, low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wings scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 5th to go in front. Lehigh Valley has scored 3 times here in the top of the 6th inning. The delivery, a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. The slider strikes him out. Dylan Moore is gone. The inning is over. But the 3-run homer from Robert Moore has cut into the Wings' lead. It's now 7-4 Rochester, going to the last half of the 6th on Fox Sports 1280. Philip Glasser, the first batter for the Red Wings in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 3-run Red Wing lead on the 3rd of July, 7-4 Rochester. Glasser's 0 for 2 so far tonight. He's been racking up, seems like 2 to 3 hits almost every game lately. And now the left-hand hitting Glasser faces Mitch Noonborn, who came on last inning to replace Colby Allard. The right-hander's pitch. Glasser smokes one to right field. That is hooking, and it's in safely fair, bouncing out to the wall near the bullpen gate. Glasser's on his way to second. The throw from Brian De La Cruz will not get him. Glasser slides in with a hard-hit double. That was stroked well by Glasser to right. His 9th double of the year, and he's immediately into scoring position for the top of the lineup, Christian Franklin. Franklin knocked in the go-ahead run just last inning with a 2-out RBI single off Colby Allard. Wings would go on to score 5 more runs in the 5th, taking a 7-1 lead, but Robert Moore homered in the top of the 6th inning, making it a closer ball game, cutting the Wings' lead in half. Well, Franklin now facing Mitch Noonborn. We told you he was born in South Africa, though he considers himself Australian. He grew up in Australia. Glasser takes his lead at second base. Noonborn's pitch up and in. Franklin ducks back away from a splitter that maybe slipped out of Noonborn's hands a little bit. There have only been a couple of players that have reached the major leagues that were born in South Africa. Gift Ngope was the first one, and pitcher Taylor Scott the second one. Scott's pitched in a lot of games in the big leagues. The delivery, waved at and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. (7-4) Red Wings, bottom of the 6th. Glasser walks away from second. Noonborn pauses, kicks, and fires. And a fisted foul off to the right, floating into the seats. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Moore with that home run, by the way, last inning. And Lehigh Valley now in the 4 games of this series has out-homered the Red Wings 8-3. And before this series in head-to-head matchups this year, the Red Wings had out-homered Lehigh Valley big time, but not so far in this series. Now the 1-2 pitch from Noonborn. Franklin takes high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Red Wings have given up at least 1 home run now in 6 straight games at ESL Ballpark. They've allowed at least 1 home run here at home in 20 of their last 21 home games. 2-2 pitch. Franklin takes in the dirt. That was a good block by Pinto, and the count has gone full. ESL Ballpark the last 2 seasons has been a very good home run ballpark. And the wind has blown out here a lot. It's been very, very rare the last 2 years to have the wind blowing in. And with the combo of the wind blowing out a lot, when the weather's heated up, it's resulted in a lot of home runs here. Noonborn fires, swinging a ground ball to shortstop. Glasser aggressively goes to third. The throw from Moore to first retires Franklin. And Glasser scrambled ahead to third base, advancing on a ground ball to the shortstop. And the Wings have a man at third with 1 out for Yo-Yo Morales. Yo-Yo's 1 for 3, reaching on a weird squibbing, spinning hit that had somehow evaded the pitcher Colby Allard. That was a big, big play, as it turned out, in the 5th inning that really opened the doors for the Wings to score a lot more runs. Lehigh Valley plays the infield in. The pitch, swing and a drive into right center field, headed up the alleyway. That is down for a hit. Bouncing the wall on 2 hops. Glasser cruises in to score, and Morales coasts into second with a run-scoring double. Wings get a run back. It's 8-4 Rochester. 58th run batted in for Yo-Yo Morales. That is the team leading total now, period. Best stats on the team are brought to you by Chick Magnet Chicken, the best chicken sandwich you have ever had. 15 doubles, 58 knocked in now for Yo-Yo. Brady House doubled in a couple of runs last inning. He's in there now. The pitch from Noonborn to House, swung on and smoked on a line to left. Kemp running back, and he makes the backhanded catch. 2 away as Morales returns to second base. That was hit very hard by House, but close enough for Kemp to reel it in. Chick Magnet Chicken wants to serve you the best chicken sandwich you have ever had. Now with 2 locations, Penfield Road and West Henrietta Road. Find out more at chickmagnetchicken.com. Wings will send up Harry Ford now. Ford has gone 0 for 2 with a walk. 8-4 Red Wings in the 6th. The Wings have now gotten up to 11 hits on the night. The righty Noonborn fires. Fastball clips the outside corner. 0-1. Ford taps the end of his bat against home plate at timer 2. And now Noonborn's 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball outside. 92 miles an hour, and that fastball from Mitch Noonborn. Two outs this inning as Morales walks away from second base. Christian Cairo trying to keep him close from second. The delivery misses outside. 2-1. Andrew Pinckney is on deck. 5th and 6th innings have been kind offensively to the Red Wings tonight. The pitch coming home. Ford takes a strike. Fastball at the top of the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Glasser began the inning with a double, and he will later score on a double from Yo-Yo Morales. Noonborn ready on the hill. Ford waiting from that slightly open stance. And now the pitch. Harry takes just outside. Pinto, the catcher, tried to frame that over the corner, and he was kind of leaning back as if he was going to take off toward the third base dugout, but that was a ball outside, and Pinto did not challenge it. Ford has taken it to a full count. He's seen a lot of pitches tonight. Noonborn's payoff pitch on the way, and Ford takes ball 4 high. Now, Harry walks for the second time tonight, and the inning will continue for Andrew Pinckney with minute first and second. Wings ahead 8-4 in the 6th. Pinckney is 1 for 2 tonight with a walk and an infield RBI single last inning. Pinto out to the mound now, consulting with his battery mate Mitch Noonborn. Pinto, a veteran catcher, draping his arm over the left shoulder of Noonborn. And now Noonborn grabs the rosin bag and gets ready to go back to work. That rosin bag, I'm sure, can be very useful in the very hot and humid weather we've been enduring this week. The 2 men are on base. Ford at first, Morales at second. Pinckney now in there, righty versus righty. Noonborn looks over the runners and throws his first pitch to Pinckney. Andrew takes a fastball outside for ball 1. Outfielders playing Pinckney deep and really spread far apart. The 1-0, low and outside, 2-0. Looks like some more action is getting ready to begin in the IronPigs bullpen. Noonborn again goes to the rosin bag, immediately gets back up to the top of the mound and tucks the baseball into the glove. A glance back to Morales at second. The pitch low for ball 3. 3-0. Is there any way Pinckney would swing away here at 3-0 if he gets a pitch that he thinks he could crush? We'll see what happens right now. 2 men on, 2 men out. The 3-0 swung on and popped up. Right side of home plate in foul territory. Pinto, the catcher, is there, and he makes the catch. Pinckney pops out on a 3-0 pitch that would have been ball 4 inside had he taken it. So that ends the inning. The Wings, though, get a run on 2 doubles. They leave 2 on base, and after 6 innings, they lead Lehigh Valley 8-4 on Fox Sports 1280. This is what happens every day at the Mary Cariola Center, where we transform the lives of individuals with disabilities. Learn more at marycariola.org. Felix Reyes leads off the 7th against Jean. Eddie's pitch on the way is lined sharply foul down the right field line, slicing out of play for strike 1. On that Toyota out-of-town scoreboard, Dalen Lyle has now homered for the 2nd time tonight for the Nationals. They're now leading Pittsburgh 9-1 in the 8th. The 0-1 ripped on a line and caught with a leaping shortstop, Trey Lipscomb. What a play by Lipscomb. Reyes lining it, and Lipscomb immediately leaped way up in the air and stabbed the ball over his head. Just stole a hit away from Felix Reyes. Snow coning that one as he reached up to snare that. 1 down in the 7th. Now Tommy Pham will bat. Pham drove one deep to right his last time up that Joey Weimer caught with a leap right in front of the Wings bullpen. Gene zips it home to the veteran Pham, and he almost hit him with a fastball that drifted inside. Ball 1. Now, Lyle and Garcia each have homered tonight for the Nationals. The Nats have gone deep 5 times in that game. 1-0 on Pham. Here's the pitch. Changeup in there for a strike. Brad Keller, the rehabbing Philly setup man, is tuning up in the Lehigh Valley bullpen, so it looks like Keller's going to pitch the bottom of this inning. Gene whips home the pitch, and a number foul behind the plate. 8-4 Red Wings, top of the 7th. The Red Wings are going to have a rehabber pitching for them tomorrow, Max Kranick. Kranick acquired earlier this year by the Nationals from the Mets. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Pham strikes out. Gene got him with a slider. 3 up, 3 gone for Gene between last inning and this one, with 2 strikeouts included. Kranick has not pitched in the big leagues this year. He's coming back from elbow surgery, but Kranick is expected to pitch for the Red Wings tomorrow, which technically will be an injury rehab assignment for Kranick. Brian De La Cruz is now hitting. 2 outs, nobody on. 8-4 Red Wings. He now calls time, and Harry Ford is going to jog out and chat with him now, the Red Wing catcher. Speaking of rehabbers, Trevor Williams, one of the Nationals pitchers, longtime big league righty, coming back from an injury, rehabbed for Harrisburg tonight, his 2nd rehab appearance this year in the minor leagues. His first one, he got knocked around at the Class A level. Tonight against Richmond, he pitched 2 1/3 shutout innings. Only allowed 1 hit, struck out 2 men. It looked like a pretty good start for Trevor Williams tonight. He could certainly appear with the Red Wings here in the near future. Now Gene ready to go on the pitch to De La Cruz. Swung on, grounded on up to third. Diving backhand play by House. He gets to his feet, throws the first on a bounce or 2. He got him! The Red Wings make 2 phenomenal defensive plays in the 7th. Brady House just stole a hit there from De La Cruz. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the Red Wings' Eddie Jean, with some defensive help behind him from Trey Lipscomb and Brady House on the left side of the diamond. Stretch time here at ESL Ballpark. Red Wings 8, Lehigh Valley 4 on Fox Sports 1280. And he's currently on the injured list with a sore arm. Trey Lipscomb, first man against him, and the Keller pitch is poked foul off to the right and dropping untouched in the screen. 0-1. 96 miles an hour in that sinker from Brad Keller. Guy has great stuff. He's not been on the injured list long. Lehigh Valley and the Phillies expecting him to be back quickly in Philadelphia. Cutter or slider stays high on Lipscomb. 1 ball and 1 strike. Keller in 31 games this year for the Phillies at a .415 ERA. He whips in the pitch, and a breaking ball stays inside. 2-1. Last year with the Cubs, a 2.07 ERA in 68 games pitched, and he only allowed 45 hits in basically 70 innings. The 2-1 lined softly into right. It's a base hit for Trey Lipscomb, his 2nd hit of the game. So he's aboard ahead of it, Joey Weimer. Keller spent 6 years with Kansas City. Was with the White Sox and the Red Sox in 2024. The Red Sox had him in Worcester for a bit that year, and the Wings faced him with the Woo Sox. And last year with the Cubs, this year the Phillies. He was the opening day starter for the Royals one year early in his career. Now Joey Wiemer facing him. Keller delivers, and it's low for a ball. Wiemer's had his best offensive game as a Red Wing today, 2 for 3 with a pair of RBI singles, knocking in 3 runs overall. 8-4 Red Wings in the 7th. The Keller pitch, breaking ball, high fly ball, deep to left center field. This is out near the fence, near the video board, and it is a home run. Joey Wiemer hits a 2-run shot just over the fence in left center field. His first Red Wing long ball, 10-4 Red Wings. Wiemer's knocked in 5 runs tonight. Got a slider over the plate, but down a little bit, and Wiemer kind of golfed that one out. Went right over that triangle area out in left center field. Robert Hassel hits next. The pitch on the way, blew it by him, a swing and a miss, and an angry fastball from Brad Keller. Well, this certainly has been Wiemer's best offensive game for the Wings so far, with that 2-run homer added in. The 0-1, a fly ball to center from Hassel, falling quickly, and that will be caught by the charging Dylan Carlson in center field. First out of the inning on that shallow fly from Carlson, or from Hassel to Carlson. Philip Glasser will bat next against Keller. Keller this year in the big leagues had allowed 4 home runs in 30 innings for the Phillies. Gave up 4 home runs all last year in 70 innings for the Cubs. He winds and fires. Glasser takes a strike to the outside corner, 98 miles an hour on that pitch. Glasser's 1 for 3. He doubled his last time up. He has been hitting everything, it seems like, lately. The next pitch to him, chopped foul to the first base dugout. And now 0-2 on Glasser. And again, he's been fiddling around some with his swing, and it's really interesting what he's been doing the last 2-3 weeks. Kind of hanging his right foot in the air as the pitch is coming home. He lifts up his right foot, almost moves it toward home plate, hanging that foot in the air, and then he brings that foot down and propels himself into the swing. The delivery misses low and outside. 1-2. Whatever Glasser has been doing has certainly been working. 10-4 Red Wings on the Joey Wiemer homer. Leadoff man Christian Franklin is on deck. Keller winds and pitches. Swing and a little blooper toward second base, and Dylan Moore makes the catch right behind the bag as Glasser pops out to the shortstop. And now there are 2 down for Christian Franklin. Guy who grew up in the Kansas City area, Franklin, and Brad Keller was the opening day starter for the Royals in 2019. At that time, the youngest opening day starter for Kansas City since Steve Busby in 1973. Younger even than Brett Saberhagen when he made an opening day starter too. Franklin takes a strike, 0-1. Originally, Keller was drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks. The 0-1, fastball down and away. The main scout the Diamondbacks had on him when they were scouting at Keller as a young guy was former Red Wing T.R. Lewis, who was scouting for the Diamondbacks then. 1-1 pitch. Franklin takes low and away with a 96-mile-an-hour sinker. 2 balls and a strike on Franklin. The Diamondbacks drafted Keller in the 8th round in 2013 out of his high school near Atlanta. 2-1 pitch. Franklin chops one wide of third base. Robert Moore ranges to his left and grabs it, throws to first, and he sets aside his old Arkansas teammate, Christian Franklin. The inning is over, but not before the Wings tack on 2 runs of the lead thanks to a Joey Wiemer round tripper. Wings have matched their biggest lead of the night. They'll carry a 10-4 lead over Lehigh Valley into the top of the 8th. on Fox Sports 1280. Cancer Connect. It's another amped pitching change for the Wings as Zach Penrod replaces Eddie Jean. Jean retired all 4 men he faced. He struck out 2 of them. The other 2 were retired on really good defensive plays by Trey Lipscomb and Brady House. Penrod now the 4th Red Wings pitcher of the game. The 29-year-old southpaw from Idaho tackles Otto Kemp first. The wind and the pitch. Breaking ball sweeps in for a called strike 1 on Kemp. Kemp is 1 for 3 tonight with a single and a run scored. Penrod rifles in the next pitch. Kemp takes just outside. 1-1. Another slider from Penrod. 29th game for Penrod this year in a Wings uniform. 1-3 record, a .382 ERA. Here it is. Swing and a miss and a changeup. 3 saves for Penrod. So he's thrown 2 sliders and a changeup to Kemp. What's he going to throw now? 1-2. Penrod, in one of his appearances in Charlotte, was throwing very hard. He guns this one home, goes to the fastball, and it's lined to right for a base hit. Take that back. That was a changeup. Kemp waited on the changeup and slapped it in the right field for the hit. So he's aboard at first. And Penrod, in one of the games in Charlotte, nearly touched 100 miles an hour with one of his fastballs. He blew away Nolan Jones, a tough hitter, with a fastball at 99.7 miles an hour, the hardest pitch of Penrod's career, and one of the hardest pitches thrown by a lefty in the league, period, this season. Cairo's now the batter. Penrod stretches, kicks, and delivers, and Cairo hits a nubber foul up the third baseline. That got him in the foot. And Cairo's kind of limping around a little bit near home plate. 0-1. Tomorrow, fireworks after the game on the 4th of July. Wegmans sponsoring the fireworks spectacular tomorrow night. 6:45 first pitch. And a fun mound matchup tomorrow night. Luis Perales for the Red Wings facing off against Andrew Painter for Lehigh Valley. Penrod back to work in the 0-1. Cairo takes low and inside. That was the fastball, hitting 96 miles an hour. Cairo has reached on an infield single. He's walked and fouled out. 10-4 Red Wings. Penrod kicks and deals. And he misses a little bit high for ball 2. 2-1. Weimer's home run, by the way, last inning. The Red Wings' 100th home run of the year. Coming in game number 83. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Red Wings hitting their 100th home run this year in their 83rd game. Last year, the Red Wings did not get their 100th home run of the season until their 99th game, and the Wings ended up with the 2nd most home runs in one season in franchise history last year. Runner takes his lead at first. Otto Kemp, the 2-2 pitch, cuts inside to fill up the count. In 2019, when the baseball was really juiced in this league, the Red Wings set a franchise record for homers, and that year the Red Wings hit their 100th home run in their 83rd game, same as the Wings did this season. Payoff pitch. It is ball 4 low. And so a single and a walk have put runners at first and at second. There's nobody out as Dylan Carlson comes to the plate. Carlson's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk tonight. Switch hitter batting right-handed against Zach Penrod. Penrod looks over the runners and throws the pitch home. Carlson swings and misses for strike 1. Red Wings ended up with 161 home runs last year. They really took off in terms of the home run pace in July and in August. And the franchise record in 2019, when the baseball was really flying. 1 strike pitch to Carlson. Swinging a tapper foul up the third baseline makes it 0-2 on tonight's Taco Bell K-Man. Wings hit 174 home runs for the franchise record in 2019. A lot of people think the baseball is juiced, though, this year. Remember, in AAA, they're using the same balls as in the big leagues, and there seems to be some evidence that the Major League Baseball this year is a little bit livelier than in the past few seasons. Anyway, it's 10-4 Red Wings here in the 8th tonight. Runners are at first and second, nobody out, and Harry Ford is going out to the mound. It looks like maybe Penrod is having a pitch comm issue. That's going to wind up being a mound visit for Harry Ford. Carlson, the Taco Bell K-Man, meanwhile, down in the count 0-2 and in danger of giving the fans a free taco. Kemp leads at second. Cairo from first. Penrod shooting for the strikeout. Whips the ball home, and it's fouled away to the right. We'll do it again at 0-2 on Carlson. Rene Pinto is on deck. Penrod off the third base side of the rubber. Stretches. Here it comes. Carlson pokes a foul ball back again. He's staying alive. Fouling off 2 straight, 0-2 pitches. Red Wings right now 6 outs away from ending a 3-game losing streak. Their longest losing streak since the end of April in the very first game of May. Another 0-2 coming home. Carlson lays off the high fastball. Penrod tried to goose that one by Carlson. A ball and 2 strikes. Carlson bats right-handed from a slightly closed-off stance. Fairly close to home plate. Cocks the bat over the shoulder, bent over some at the waist. Penrod's 1-2, slider, chopped foul behind the plate. Carlson is proving difficult for Penrod to polish off. And a new batch of baseballs now for the plate umpire, run out there by Cam the Bat Boy. Wings have activity going behind Penrod now in the bullpen with Cole Henry warming up. Tonight's game began after a 1-hour, 6-minute delay due to severe weather in the neighborhood. 1-2 pitch again. Fastball low. That was a good take by Carlson after he got into swing mode. That fastball almost touching 98 miles an hour from Penrod. Kemp began the inning by singling to right. Cairo then worked a walk. Carlson was behind 0-2. Now it's 2-2. It's on the way, and a swing and a fly ball to straightaway center. Chasing back Pinckney. He's at the edge of the track, and he makes the catch. Kemp turns from second, tags and moves to third. And men are at the corners now with 1 out after that long fly out from Carlson. Now Rene Pinto, the hitter. Pinto has struck out all 3 times tonight. Twice against the starter Jackson Kent. And then Jack Sinclair got him the other time. Right-handed hitter. Spent parts of 3 years in the big leagues with the Tampa Bay Rays. Pinto, midway off the plate, wags the bat around over the shoulder. Penrod steps a throw to first. He's out at first base. Cairo got nabbed by Penrod. Penrod backed off the rubber and whipped the ball to first. Cairo went diving back like he was Superman, and Morales tagged him out. That was a snap, quick throw over there from Penrod. What a move from Penrod. Now they're at 2 men out. Runner at third. The Penrod pitch, very high, stabbed by Ford, preventing a wild pitch. Penrod's done that a couple of times there. He steps off the back of the rubber and then guns the ball to first base. If you can do it, boy, that is a real weapon, and Penrod certainly looks like he has that weapon as part of his profile. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tough to get a ton on the throw that way. You're backing off the rubber, throwing flat-footed to first, but Penrod not only got a lot on the throw, but put it right on the money for Morales. Kemp leads away at third base with 2 men out. Penrod's 1-1. Fastball fouled straight back onto the screen, and now Pinto is in danger of striking out for the 4th straight time. Second half of this game, Wings have made some really good defensive plays. You factor in that Penrod pickoff amongst that. House and Lipscomb made great plays last inning. Joey Weimer made a heck of a play in right field in the 5th. Wings have made a few amount of really good plays tonight. 1-2 pitch coming home. Pinto takes up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Wings have overall played great defense all year. They have maybe had some games where their defense has not been quite as good lately, though, but certainly in this game tonight, it's come through when needed. This will be the 23rd pitch of the inning from Penrod. The delivery. Pinto bounces one softly to second. Glasser fields, comes up firing to first. Pinto is out. The inning is over. Penrod worked into trouble and then out of it, helping himself out with a pickoff. Middle of the 8th. Red Wings 10, Lehigh Valley 4 on Fox Sports 1280. And renew hope for the future. Find out more about the Ville of Hope's programs and how you can get involved at villeofhope.org. Red Wings 10, Lehigh Valley 4. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Last chance for the Red Wings to add on to their lead. And Nolan Hoffman will now come on for the IronPigs to replace Brad Keller. Keller pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs on the Joey Weimer home run. Taco Bell crunch time now in the bottom of the 8th. A breakfast crunch wrap combo is the perfect way to start your day. Order on the app or visit one of 11 Rochester area Taco Bell locations. Yo-Yo Morales will be up first against Hoffman, who's the 4th pitcher of the game for Tank Adamson's team. Hoffman briefly was warming up last night in the last inning, but Kirby Sneed got through the last inning okay for the IronPigs. Hoffman, a side-arming right-hander. First pitch to Yo-Yo Morales here on the bottom of the 8th is a fastball that sinks a little bit low. Ball 1. 28-year-old Nolan Hoffman from Lincoln, Nebraska, played his college ball at Texas A&M. And the 1-0 pitch. Morales takes a fastball that grabs the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Morales has had a solid game tonight, 2 for 4 with an RBI double. Parts of the last 2 years in the big leagues with the Phillies for Hoffman. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul back into the right, almost at least in the neighborhood of Brady House, the Wings on deck hitter. Most of this year, Hoffman's been with the IronPigs, and he's very effective when on. Certainly, he does not look like he would be an easy guy to face if you're a right-handed hitter. The 1-2. Morales swings, hits a line drive into right for a hit. And poked that one into right field, a humpback line drive for his 3rd hit of the game. Morales aboard at first ahead of Brady House. Hit number 14 tonight for the Red Wings offense. House has a pair of hits tonight, an infield single and a 2-run double. Everybody in the Red Wings lineup tonight has at least 1 hit or is walked. 8 of the 9 men in the lineup have at least a hit. Hoffman stretches, takes a deep breath, sidearms the pitch home, and his breaking ball doesn't break. It stays inside as House backs away from ball 1. Harry Ford is on deck as the only Red Wing without a hit, and Ford has walked twice. And he has scored a run. Hoffman whips in the 1-0, and it jams House, who bounces a foul behind the plate. That was right in on his knuckles. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hoffman throws that sidearm sinker, and I mean, that thing is boring in on a right-handed batter. Wings 10, Lehigh Valley 4. Morales takes a short lead from first. And the 1-1 now to Brady House. Ran inside. House had to jump away from that sinking fastball. 2-1. In the top of the 9th inning, it'll be Robert Moore, then Dylan Moore, followed by Felix Reyes for the IronPigs. 2 balls and a strike. Now the pitch. House swings, grounds one to the left side. That's a base hit. House gets his 3rd hit of the game. And runners are at first and second with nobody out as Harry Ford makes his way to the plate. Wings have had some luck this year against Hoffman. We got a save the other night. Ball game on Tuesday, he had a very easy ninth inning, 1-2-3 for the save, but the Wings have had some good luck in a handful of games against Hoffman this year. Ford has struck out twice. He's also walked twice. Righty on righty matchup. Hoffman delivers, swinging a foul back into the right, into the 200 level. It is strike one on Harry Ford. Great to see Ford back in the lineup tonight after he got hit in the helmet with a pitch from Max Lazar last night, but Ford right in there tonight, catching the entire way. Batting cleanup. Hoffman's 0-1. Ford takes a sinker, too low. 1 ball and 1 strike. This game was low scoring over the first 4 innings. It's a 1-1 game until the Red Wings exploded in the bottom of the 5th inning against starting pitcher Colby Allard, scoring 6 runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and it's off speed and in there for a strike. 1-2. Jackson Kent pitched 5 innings for the Red Wings. The Wings scoring those runs to take the lead just in time for him to qualify for the win tonight. It would be his 2nd of the year against Lehigh Valley and his 5th AAA win overall as long as the Wings hang on. Time called now. Ford backs away before the 1-2 pitch. Yo-Yo Morales is at second base. Brady House is at first. Now Hoffman sets just above the belt. And his pitch is on the way home. Ford swings and misses, striking out on the slider. There's the first out here in the 8th. Now Andrew Pinckney. Pinckney tonight is 1 for 3. He knocked in a run in that 5th inning with an RBI single. Wings had a couple of kind of fluky hits, though, in that inning. Allard got frustrated on the mound in the 5th. That inning could have gone a lot differently, but the Wings caught some breaks. Hoffman's pitching out of Pinckney coming up. Andrews swings and misses at the sidearm cutter, 0-1. Pinckney's had a strong series at the plate and defensively for the Wings. Pretty much all of Pinckney's numbers seem to be climbing gradually upward again, much as they did the second half of last year. Here comes Hoffman's 0-1. Pinckney takes a breaking ball that bends in for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. If Pinckney has the sort of second half this season he had the second half of last year, his numbers are going to be really, really good by the end of the season. Because last year his numbers weren't great in the first half. They ended up being very good, though, because his second half was so strong. 0-2 pitch coming home, swinging a ground ball, base hit to the right field side. Mario Lasone's waving around Morales. The right fielder, De La Cruz's throw is not going to get him. Morales scores standing. Throw to third, and House is tagged out by Robert Moore as he tried to backpedal away from him towards second base. It's 11-4 Red Wings. Pinckney at first on the RBI single, knocking in his 42nd run of the year. House is out at third base on that. It'll go 9-2-5 on the out at third. Pinckney at first with 2 away. Biggest lead now the game for the Red Wings, leading by 7. Pinto threw the ball down to third after Morales scored standing, and House slammed on the brakes in front of third base, tried to backpedal towards second, and Robert Moore easily ran him down. Now Trey Lipscomb bats against Hoffman. And after a long set, Hoffman pitches. Pinckney's running on a ball nicked foul of the plate for strike 1. Wings up 7 here in the 8th, but Pinckney trying to steal second on that one. And now he goes back to first after the foul ball from Lipscomb. Well, the way the ball's been carrying here at ESL Ballpark this week, kind of like the Wings had to play things in Charlotte last week. No lead is safe. Lipscomb's reached 3 times tonight with 2 singles and a walk. Hoffman turns, throws to first, and Pinckney falls back to the bag. Red Wings, by the way, have now scored runs in 4 straight innings, beginning with that 6-run 5th. They've now piled up 16 hits tonight. Hoffman pauses. The 0-1. Pinckney doesn't run, and a swing and a miss by Lipscomb. It's 0-2. 16 hits in a game in which the Red Wings will, unless everything falls apart next inning, only come to the plate in 8 frames. That's a lot of hits in 8 innings. A lot of hits, period. Hoffman pauses, looks over the shoulder to first. Pinckney doesn't go, and the pitch to Lipscomb is swung on and missed. The strikeout ends the inning. Wings get 3 hits in the 8th, tack on another run of insurance, and now it's 11-4 Rochester. Another amped pitching change for the Red Wings. Cole Henry takes over the mound for the top of the 9th, with the Red Wings now leading 11-4. Amped is your local energy advisor, connecting you to the resources, vetted installers, and programs you need to make smart energy choices at home. To learn more, head to ampedproject.org/bullpen. Henry replaces Zach Penrod on the hill. Penrod pitched a scoreless 8th inning, allowing a single and a walk. He helped himself out with a pickoff. Switching Robert Moore steps in left-handed to face Henry. From this side of the plate, Moore homered last time up off Jack Sinclair. 6'4" right-hander Cole Henry sets and fires, and the first pitch of the 9th is high for ball 1. Henry pitched 1 inning last night, so working in back-to-back games. Between a rehab stint and after getting optioned to the Wings, this is the 15th Rochester appearance of the year for Henry. The 1-0 just outside, 2-0 on Moore. Henry has put together a .257 ERA in his 14 outings with the Red Wings, allowing it 10 hits in 14 innings. 8 strikeouts, just 1 walk. From the set position, he fires. Swinging a foul straight back, making it 2 balls and a strike. 7,467 the announced crowd tonight at ESL Ballpark. Baseball RPO fireworks triple header. We're almost done with the first third of that equation. Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra will start performing quite shortly after the ball game. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, bloop behind it short. Trey Lipscomb is right there, and he'll make the catch on the infield dirt. Moore is easily retired for the first out of the inning. Got the stage set up, covered by a white tent out in left field. Beyond the fence, that's where the RPO will be performing right after the game. Now Dylan Moore, the leadoff man. He has had a good game tonight, 2 for 3 with a double and a triple. Henry's pitch to the right-hand batting Dylan Moore is a called strike 1 with a fastball on the outside. 0-1's the count. Big gap in right center field for Moore, who again is wearing the highlighter yellow spikes tonight. Pitch chopped foul behind Tank Adamson coaching third base. 0-2. These spikes look like they might glow in the dark, the ones that Moore is wearing. 11-4 Red Wings in the 9th inning. Henry kicks and pitches. Goes to the breaking ball that curves low and outside. 1-2. The Wings, barring something very unforeseen, will snap a 3-game losing skid, and they'll still have a chance to split this series with the IronPigs. 1-2 pitch, swinging a rocketed line drive to deep left. Back goes Franklin. That carries over his head and hits the very base of the fence. It's another extra base knock for Dylan Moore, who trots into second base with a 2-base hit. That was his most impressive one of the night. That was absolutely tomahawked. It was a high fastball above the zone, and Moore went up there and just whacked it. Line drive that screamed over the head of the left fielder Franklin and thumped up against the base of the wall in front of the visitors' bullpen. Now Felix Reyes, the hitter. Righty on righty matchup. Henry zips it in there, and a breaking ball dives low and outside. Reyes has been held hitless tonight, 0 for 3, although he did knock in a run in the 3rd with a sac fly. He was robbed of a hit his last time, though, on a fantastic leaping catch by shortstop Trey Lipscomb on a liner. The 1-0 dives low and away again on another breaking ball. Looked almost exactly like the pitch before. 2-0. One thing that's hurt Lehigh Valley tonight, they've gone 2 for 12 and been in scoring position. The Wings, on the other hand, 7 for 14 in those spots. Big difference. 2-0 pitch. That's a ball outside, pretty close. In fact, a challenge from Harry Ford.
Catcher is challenging the call of ball.
It's their first challenge in a while in this game. That was a ball outside.
The call is confirmed. Rochester has no challenge remaining.
The Wings go 1 for 3 on challenges tonight. They are out of challenges now. Lehigh Valley has won both of their challenges. 1 on, 1 out. 3-0 the count on Felix Reyes. Here it comes. Swing and a line drive into right field. Weimer has to play it on a hop. They're going to hold up a late stop sign on Dylan Moore. He rounded third too far, throw back behind him, and he dives back to third safely. Tank Adamson almost got his runner thrown out. Felix Reyes swinging at 3-0, down 7 runs in the ninth. Singles into right. And Tank Adamson originally was waving around Dylan Moore, and he threw up a very late stop sign, and Moore skidded to a stop and stumbled on the late stop sign, and Yo-Yo Morales, who cut off the throw from Weimer, nearly threw out Moore at third base. So they're at the corners now. The Wings will not hold on Reyes at first. Pitch to Tommy Pham, tails inside for ball 1. 1-0. That would have ended up a very bad out at third base for Lehigh Valley. Very good out for the Red Wings. 1-0 the count on Pham. It bats from that deep crouch. The pitch, a slider for a strike or a cutter. 1-1 on Pham. Pham is 0 for 4 tonight, 1 for his first 8 since recently signing a Phillies minor league deal as he's trying to get back to the big leagues for a Phillies team that would be his 11th different major league team. The pitch, breaking ball outside. 2 balls and a strike now on Pham. P-H-A-M, Pham. Grew up in Las Vegas. First and third runners, 1 away. The Red Wings up big in the ninth. Henry pitches, and it's low and away, squirts off the mitt of Ford. The runner at third, Moore, will hold on, but Reyes will move up to second base. And now it's 3 balls and a strike on Pham. Henry's pitch was low and outside, and Ford tried to backhand it, and it rolled away from him. That's going as a pass ball on Ford. So now 2 men are into scoring position for Lehigh Valley in a game that has featured a lot of base runners, certainly in the second half of this game. 3-1 pitch. Pham grounds one to the third base side. Diving play by House. He gets to his feet, throws the first. Pham is out. Run scores in the play, but now 2 down in the ninth. It is 11-5 Red Wings as Brady House makes his second excellent play in the last 3 innings at third base. He dove to his left, snaring the grounder, scrambled to his feet, and threw out Pham at first base. So Pham won't get a hit. He will get an RBI since Dylan Moore scored. Last 3 or 4 innings, the Wings have really flashed the leather. Now Brian De La Cruz. Reyes stayed put at second on that play. Henry sets the slim right-hander's pitch. Is bounced foul behind the plate for strike 1. De La Cruz is 1 for 4 tonight. There have not been too many 1, 2, 3 innings in this game. A lot of traffic on base. Each team with double figures in the hit column. Red Wings leading 11-5 in the top of the ninth. The 0-1. Breaking ball sweeps low and outside. Henry approaching 20 pitches here in the ninth, and the Red Wings have begun warming up a right-hander in their bullpen. Matt Lecroy, I'm sure, would really prefer to not have to use another pitcher here in the ninth. The kick in the 1-1. Breaking ball hit high in the air to left field. Franklin's going back. He's at the track right in front of the wall, and he makes the catch right in front of the fence. That is how the ball game comes to an end. Cole Henry breathes a sigh of relief. The Wings' losing streak comes to a close as the Red Wings win the ball game 11-5 tonight on the 3rd of July. Our post-game show gets started right after this on Fox Sports 1280.